was a very tense fight.
First match against Mad Lions, we were like 8-1 coming up after like the best of one, so we were like pretty confident, and then everything low-key collapses. It felt a bit weird because we knew how to play the game, but coming up into best of threes, it was way different. So we had to focus a lot on our problems actually that we had in game.
I think it was disappointing for all of us because we didn't meet the standard that we wanted to meet in this BO series.
We were overconfident during the best of three. That's why I think our form wasn't that great.
But I think we reacted properly to this, both in training, in the approach of GX, and from there I think that we slowly improved it. GX was, I wouldn't say our best series, but I think it was more convincing than Mad. And then I think on Casey we've shown a lot. I think we were resilient mentally. I think that we are well prepared draft-wise. I think that the players delivered individually. So I was happy about this series. Even though it went to 5 games, and I don't think that it should have been the case, at least it did show us that we could play 5 games and be okay with it on the mental part, on the stamina part. I think we did well in that. So I'm happy about the improvement because last time that we played best of 5, especially in 5 games, it was sometimes a bit more rough. And this time we kind of overcame those past events, right?
The match against Casey, some pressure on me of course because it's my whole team and I really didn't want to lose. We win 3-2, right? I think we should have won 3-0, but we're still scared, still a lot of pressure because there was a lot of stakes, because we want to get at least top 3 and we want to win the split, so we couldn't lose by being 4, especially to Casey, who come back from 2 times 10th place, right? Our last game against G2 before facing them in semi-finals, finals of loser bracket, we end up like 3-3, which has been the best scrim we've had against them since even last year. We've never won at least 3 games in scrims against us. So for sure, we had so much confidence, and we knew that they were not also at their peak level. So we knew that if we played the best we could, I think we could beat them.
Still hovering around. Ooh, Alki not going to connect crucially. Q flash back from Yike, but Yike still going to get cut down here. Excellent use of the calling, and now the immediate ball under the G2 backline. Triple kill for Nuke.
Sheo out. So they knew that it was just Lebrov and Ice there, and G2 capitalized immediately now. Can you steal Sheo?
Calling. Sheo. Can he get into the pit? Sheo! Steals a minute to turn it back. Nuke in the meantime.
I didn't have that much feeling, even though we won first game with a pretty convincing way. I was still really focused because I knew that there were still tough opponents to beat and that we had to keep our focus. So I was like, yeah, this is good, but we should keep it focused.
After game one, I would say confident. I think that was the first word that I would use. It's a best of 5, so anything can happen. You try to not get too high fee after a win, but it was the first time that we have such a convincing win against G2, and I think it was a testimonial of how far we came.
Vision, but has access to the hawk shot. Now the arrow goes in. Easy target selection. Wall coming in as well. They're completely set up for Sheo, and Sheo is so damn powerful already. One going to be deleted. Hansama now trying to run away. Lebrov, not enough damage. Broken Blade ready to try and turn this one back. Another kill coming through. Broken Blade at least getting 1 in return, but it'll only be Hansama standing. 19-20. Too damn only going to get used here. Broken Blade unconcerned. Arrow landing on the Caps is big, but the bomb not quite there. Caps going gold, and Sheo now ready to follow up. They might be able to get one back, but instantly they turn on Sheo to deny the bomb to ensure the Caps can survive. And once again, a quadra for Hansama. And the final fight of the game is G2 strike back.
We were like 8k up, I think, at like 20 minutes, so it was like unlosable spot by the way, but we still lost, so that's unfortunate. I think we just choked.
So G2 will now start Baron, and they will force you to come and fight them.
All right, Sheo's stolen once before, but he's the Carthus this time around. Can he get into the pit? Can he make it happen? Hook onto Sheo. Wall down. Bullet time. Going to immediately get around to Vital Lebrov. Nuke with a decent calling, but he's just not doing much damage. This Ocean Soul is so damn oppressive. G2 get the objective. Can now turn right onto BDS, and they're all basically full health. G2 dominate. Those advantages they've been building up all game finally paying off. There's just nothing that BDS can do.
I mean, between games, we try to review like the biggest mistakes we did in the game, but anyways, like the small mistake that you do in game that you would usually review, for example, after best of one or after best of three, then here you don't have time, right? Because even though you talk about them, you will just not fix them because the time is just too small. You have like not even 2-3 minutes to talk about displays because then you need to allow a time to reset mentally after the game, especially if it was like a tilting one or like a hard one, like a long one, or you get stomped or you stomp the enemy. You need to keep the focus no matter what the situation, and the coaches and the performance coach as well helps about that. We try to eat as well some snacks, some fruits to try to have like to maintain the energy stable throughout like the whole series, which is looking important, and we take it from there.
A lot of pressure in the top side. Ice is going to move down onto the bot side. So,
That's the knockback. That's going to be big. And again, that's the killing spree coming through. Again, Caps has been caught out. Adam running forward. Nuke continuing to step up. This is where Talia's sustained damage is going to feel so damn good. They really cannot burn through that health bar. Quick flash back. Solar Flare not going to connect either. But Broken Blade starting to run rampant. These procs coming in left and right. Finally, the knockback going to be there. The ulti there as well. Adam getting lower and lower. But Hansama already gone. Just walks up and kills him. It's a Quadra. Cassante, baby. Get the copy ready. Get the pasta ready. He's still in the game. Penta for Adam.
Here we go. Remember the ship.
Hands off by the
All
side.
the side fights.
We're going to walk up Mickey. We're going to hopefully find the reset. Flick back is good. Instantly, they're going to take up one now. Ice gets the reset, but instead he's focused on the Elder. He's not quite where he needs to be for the rest of the team. The bullet time coming in. But LeBron instantly going to cancel. The flick back on to 3 from Nuke is massive. ISO still getting cut down. G2 still alive. The Jinx reset's not enough. So much damage. G2 stealing in the chance in a game 5.
I think that we are focused. I think game 4 is a good proof of that, because after game 3 that we also lose, it could have been easy to just get pushed and roll over and lose, but game 4 was really back and forth and close. We were one team fight away to go to game 5, so yeah. I think it was closer than what the score shows, right? 3-1, but we're really in control of game 1 and 2, and before this throw, because we have to call it a throw, it was a throw on game 2. I think we are in a really good spot to get the series. I think they play well defensively when they don't have a lead, but I also don't think that we should be in a position where we have that kind of a lead without closing the game.
I mean, overall in the series, I was feeling pretty sharp mechanically. I'm really proud of how I played overall, even though we lost. I was still trying my best to win, and for my teammates as well. I was doing everything I could to help them, but it was not enough, unfortunately. But I was feeling pretty happy. Honestly, a pentakill against G2, you don't have that a lot of times in your career, so I take it. After G2, we had like a small talk with coaching staff, etc. I mean, everyone was like for sure disappointed, but then after that, I had like 3 days off to reset mentally, and then full preparation, full tryhard, intense mode for season finals. And personally, I've been just playing solo queue, try to keep me mechanically still present and wait for the Fnatic best of 5.
Right now we have around 10 days to prepare for Fnatic. We start for checking all the patch notes, and we try to slowly figure out what can be strong and what can be fit for our team, and maybe what we can just be good against Fnatic.
This one will be, I think, really close. We won't have so much data from them and them from us as well, because we won't be screaming until then. It's like there's like a 2 weeks break, so it's a new patch as well, so some new champs that will appear in the meta. So it's like we basically have zero preparation, zero knowledge about the meta, and it's gonna be interesting for sure. I think there will not be clean games at all. It will be funny. I mean, I cannot promise that I will play Darius, but also cannot promise that I won't be playing Darius for sure. The champs are not really in a good spot right now with the range meta, but if the meta shift for point 15, maybe we'll see some. We've been pretty consistent in being third, I would say. A lot of teams would dream to be in our spot, right? Because you don't get to reach the podium that much time in your career, maybe for some players, for example, or for even some organization, right? But I'm not satisfied personally. I'm still happy of the results, but I wished that we had more, because being third 3 times is still not an achievement that needs to be like downgraded in a way. We still need to be proud of what we did, but even though we should be proud, we should not feel satisfied in a way, because we can for sure reach more. I mean, qualifying 3 times to Worlds, you know, for sure it is something unbelievable to me, especially when it's only my 3rd year as playing a professional. So it's like, even I started in an ERL, and imagine like I started playing professionally in 2021 actually, and imagine if at the end of 2024 I still reach my 3rd Worlds already. That would be already an insane achievement.
For me, it doesn't matter if I will be top 3, top 5, top 8, because from my perspective, only top 1 is matter. For me, it's kinda, I would say, disappointed, but I knew also it's kinda like way how we can just get more confidence and getting experience, but still my goal is win kinda the split.
Of course, guys, Sun Finals in 2 weeks from the moment I record this video, obviously. So we'll hope to do really well against Fnatic, and it's going to be an important best of 5. We need to qualify towards. If we don't face Fnatic, we'll go through loser bracket and we'll need to win 2 best of 5 to qualify towards. So stay tuned, guys, because this time we won't disappoint you.